Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So basically I'm going to start a new section on my channel called Ask Joe, and it's basically where you guys will message me your questions, your problems, your issues, and I'll try and give you my advice on my second opinion. And at the end of the day, that's all it is, a second opinion. Because at the end of the day, in your life, you know what's best for you, you know what the actual problem is, because whatever you tell me, it doesn't matter how much detail you go into it, it's still not exactly how you see it. So just take it on the chin, as in like you don't have to do what other people tell you, but sometimes it is nice to hear a second opinion. Like for myself, I feel like I'm really stubborn sometimes, but I do like to listen to other people's opinions. I might not take it, I might not take their opinions and do something with it, but I just like to hear it, because sometimes you get like a bigger picture, because sometimes you're so focused on your way and no other way that you lose sight of what the actual situation is sometimes, or you lose sight that there's another option, and that option that you feel like is the right one might not be the best one. So like the way I would describe it is, let's say if you've got a room and you need to exit the room, you might think the only way out of the room is through the door, whereas someone else could tell you actually you can dig a hole, you can break the walls, you know what I mean? Like you might still want to go through that door, but it's nice to know that there are other options and you're not just stuck. Because sometimes when you are so stuck, it just stresses you out and you just think, what am I going to do now? But hearing other people's opinions, it just eases the situation, I feel, and just makes you see the bigger picture and gets you out of that bubble sometimes. But then you might still decide to go through the door, which is what your opinion anyway, but you just feel more confident in that decision of yours because you heard there's other options, but you still feel like that's the one. And that's what I feel like you should do with advice. Like at the end of the day, do what you want, but it's nice sometimes to hear other people's opinions. Sometimes it can also reassure you on your choice. So these questions can be anything really. It can be relationship advice, it can be educational advice, or anything you like, anything that you would like a second opinion on, feel free to message me. Now I put this onto my Instagram and I asked you guys for questions, and you guys did give me some. I got a DM from someone and they were basically told me a story about how, I guess an too typical kind of story that most of you guys would have heard. The story was that this girl was speaking to this guy, and eventually obviously the guy gained her trust and he was saying and doing all the right things, so everything was going well, and then all of a sudden he started distancing himself from her. So then obviously she tried to, naturally as you do, she went and pre'd his Insta, because when you're obviously thinking about someone you just want to see their stuff. So she started to pre his Insta, so there was several girls that he was following, so she decided to then pre their pages, and under their photos he had commented things, exact same things that he said to her, and her friend suggested they make a fake account. He then messaged those girls, and I'm guessing asking questions, and then they've all made it clear that yes, they're in a relationship with them. All these separate girls seem to think they're in a relationship with this one guy, so she understood that this is the kind of guy he is basically. Now her problem is that she can't seem to forget him. It's been a year since all of this happened, but she can't still seem to forget him, and she said that she still stalks his profile now and then, goes into his profile and reads their old chats. That's a problem. I feel like if you make that decision to end it with someone, you need to end it completely. You are never going to get over them if you still pre their page. It's only natural that you want to go and pre their stuff, because obviously you miss them, and no matter what happened, you had a past with them and you must have had good times and stuff. So when a breakup happens, the first couple of days you're going to be angry, but then once that anger settles, you're going to be going into that kind of missing them, feeling lonely, wanting someone there. So vulnerable emotions, I guess, because you're not thinking straight basically right now, you're just missing that person, so you want to gain insight into their life, do you know what I mean? So it's only natural that you want to pre and whatnot, but this is where people go wrong. If you make that decision, or they make that decision to end it, then okay, you need to accept that. You need to delete them completely. If you want them in your life, then I guess that's different, and my advice there is, why has it ended? If it's ended for a certain reason, then you need to remember that reason, because that's the exact reason why it didn't work out. Why are you going to go back to something that has so much negativity, let's say? If it was just a simple reason, then you shouldn't have broke up. If it's come down to you breaking up for some simple thing, then again, this relationship is pointless. In life, as you get older, you're going to have plenty of stresses, and if you're breaking up over a tiny reason, then what makes you think that this person's going to mature enough to stay through the relationship in the long haul? So You just have to take some time back and be selfish. This is your chance to be selfish, because when you're in a relationship, people become quite selfless. So now that it's ended, be selfish and think, what am I gaining from this relationship? What is the point? What are you going to gain from this? If you can't answer it with decent answers, then there's no point going back to them. So if it's just, oh, but you treat them nice, your partner is meant to be the person that you mature with, that you're going to start a family with, and you're going to raise your kids with. So it can't just be on superficial things. This relationship can't be superficial feelings. It has to be something much deeper. So, going back to the question, no matter how strong you are in your mind, if it's available to you, you're going to go and look at it. So what you need to do is block them. Delete every message you have with them. Although that's hard, you need to delete it. What's the point? You're torturing yourself looking back at it. This conversation no longer exists, so why are you reading back on it? You're bringing these fake emotions that you had in that moment, or maybe now they're even more heightened because in that moment you didn't appreciate it. Let's say that you read some messages and where he's been nice to you. In that moment you didn't really appreciate it because you just used to them being nice. But now, because you've experienced that bad side of them, because you've broken up and now you're going back to see them, those emotions are more heightened because you just think, oh my god, he was actually really nice to me. Like, you're feeding yourself lies basically. So delete all messages, number one. Number two, block them from everything. Loads of people say it's childish to block people and whatnot, but it's not. Why do you need to see my stuff? First of all, why do I need to see your stuff? I know you want to, because like I said, some people want to because they like to just feel like it's not really the end. They want that kind of connection because they're not ready to let go just yet. But you need to do that for yourself. You will appreciate in the long run. Because right now, keeping them there, you feel like you're going to distance yourself slowly, but you're not. You're torturing yourself. Whereas right now, if you delete them straight away, it's hard, obviously, because it's kind of like, it's quite a big move, but in the long haul you'll get over it and realise that was really smart and you wouldn't even check up on them. But if you're constantly checking up on them, you're never allowing yourself to get over it. It's like a roller coaster. You're making a roller coaster like this, but it should be just a little one. Like, you have ups and downs. You have days where you miss them, and you have days where you're completely fine naturally, even if you block them. But if you don't block them, your roller coaster will be more like this. So when your days that you miss them, you'll be really missing them because you'll be seeing the pictures. And the days that you're fine about them, you might still think about them. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not allowing yourself to go through the motions properly. You're exaggerating the emotions because it's constantly still there, available to you. So block them completely, because in the long run you'll get used to not having to check up on them. You need to stop yourself from checking up on them. Otherwise it could be years, like you said in the story, it's been a year and you still think about him. It's been a year and you can't get over him. You're not allowing yourself to get over him. So my advice to you is block him, delete all your messages, delete all your pictures, because it's never going to happen, because you're worth more than that. No matter how nice he was or how he made you feel, you're worth more than that. Why would you want to be with someone who is basically being fake to you? He's showing you fake love, and you're very well aware of this, as you said in the messages. You said that he's a typical F-boy, so you're clearly aware of this, so delete him. And when you have those moments to yourself where you think, oh, maybe he isn't that bad, just remember that he is an F-boy. Remember that and stick to that and delete everything. That's my advice to you. Another question was, what would you do when your ex pops up again and you know he is in a relationship? And this was from a girl. My advice is, first of all, it comes down to how do you feel about that? Like, okay, he's in a relationship. Let's disregard that bit for a moment. Let's talk about you. How do you feel about him? Like, how does it make you feel when he pops up to you? He makes you feel happy that he's popping up to you. Actually, my advice to you is the same as the other girl. You broke up for a reason, so leave it at that. No matter how nice, because now sometimes after a long time of not speaking to someone, so he's obviously popped up after a long time, you might feel a type of way and be like, oh, maybe we could try this again. But then the fact that you know he's in a relationship, that should make you well aware that this is, again, definitely, no matter what he says, this is not the kind of person you want to get involved in. Now, I'm guessing your question could also be directed at the fact that he's doing this and he's got a girl, and that's wrong. Like, the girl code, you might want to like message him and be like, try correct him and be like, what you're doing is wrong, I'm fully aware that you're in a relationship and all these things. There's no point. You don't need to make yourself to be out the better person, because they're not going to appreciate that. When someone's doing something no matter what they're doing, so whether what he's doing is now basically speaking to another girl or speaking to his ex while he's in a relationship, which is completely wrong. He knows, he is fully aware that that is wrong, because if someone did that to him, he wouldn't like that. So he fully knows what he is doing, but he's still choosing to do that. So no matter what you say to him or her, they couldn't care less. They're doing this by choice. So by you're just wasting your time, your breath, your emotions trying to help someone who doesn't want your help. So my advice to you is, don't get involved. I know you'd feel bad maybe for the girl and be like, if I was in that situation, I'd want someone to tell me. But then this is a bit of a tricky one, because although you do want to help her, how do you know how she's gonna respond? Most likely she'll turn it on you and make you the problem. So now you've got someone out there hating on you for no reason, and most likely she's probably even hating on you anyway, because he must have told her stories or whatnot. So she's fully aware of who you are. So if you're coming to her and trying to be nice to her, she's not gonna appreciate it. You have two options. Either you get involved and you message the girl and say, listen, your man's been messaging me, I don't think it's right, girl to girl, here's the proof. She replies one of two ways. She says, thank you, I really appreciate it, or she's going to turn around and say to you, get out of my life, why are you in my business, da 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 da, all these next things, next lies. Now, in the first option where she appreciates it, she's going to go back to him and say, so-and-so messaged me, why are you doing this? He will eventually turn it around and be like, oh, it's this guy is doing this thing, he's gonna twist it. So if she goes back to him and says, like if she genuinely appreciates what you've done, she's gonna go back to him and tell him this and this and this, why are you doing this, and be really angry at him and whatnot, this ain't right, all these next things, I don't appreciate you doing this to me. He's gonna turn around and twist it. He's going to be like, oh, it's not what it seems, it's this and this and this, she actually messaged me, I don't know, he's going to twist the story somehow. Eventually they're going to sort out their differences and they're going to still be together. Because if this is the kind of guy that he's doing these things behind her back, he knows how to worm his way back into her good books. So either way, you've now went out of your way to help someone, and it's been twisted back, because when they're back together, they're going to make you the enemy. So it's caused problems for yourself. Either way, I feel like you will become a problem somehow. You will be twisted into being the problem, when all you wanted to do was help the situation, help this girl who, as you would, like, if it was your friend, you would want your friend to know. That's one option. The second option is for you to just dead it, and that's what I would do. Like, as much as you want to help someone, just leave it. It's not your problem, and leave it at that. Your conscience is clear, because you can always, I guess, keep the screenshot. I don't know if that's something that you want to do, but there's no point. Like, karma will get these people. There's no need to intervene sometimes. Just karma will get them. He will, like I said, he will mess up sometime down the line, and it will come out, and they will not be together. If he's going to be snaky like this behind her back now, he's going to do other things most likely, and that relationship will never last. So distance yourself from the situation and block all these people, block her, block him, block everything, delete everything. There's no way he can access you. You're no longer the problem. Your conscience is clear because you're not entertaining this. Don't reply to him. If you blocked him, you obviously can't reply to him. Just delete everything. You're not involved. You're done at this. Someone else messaged and they said, find me a Nuse. Now, this was obviously a joke reply, but I'm going to take this as a genuine reply. Now, your question is to help you find a Nuse. But first of all, my question to you is, why do you need a Nuse? What is it that you're looking for? A Nuse is a wife, by the way, for you guys that don't speak Albanian. What are you looking for? Why do you want a wife? Just to have a wife and have kids with her? Okay, that seems too fairy tale like that's not all life is about, just to find someone and have kids with them. There's a lot more involved. You're going to be spending the rest of your life with this person, so you need to realize what it is that you want. And once you realize what you want, figure out, can you match that? So you want a wife that does this, this and this and this, but can you do that yourself? If you can't match her or excel in these qualities, then you're not ready to find a wife. You're just having a childish view on a relationship or marriage. Some people would want, their ideas of what a wife should be is someone who cooks and cleans. Really? Anyone can cook and clean. This is your quality that you're looking for in someone. Someone who's going to bring up your kids, someone who's going to be around your family, someone who's going to be there in your bad times and good times, should just cook and clean, that's it. You're done. Someone could cook and clean and be the worst person to have in your life, where someone else could be the best person in the world, like what exactly the person you need, so in your bad times can bring you up, in your good times uplift you even more. Like they can be the most amazing person that anyone can have, but suddenly they can't cook and clean and you just throw them out of the equation. So you need to get, first of all, you need to get your priorities straight. What is it that you need in a person? Forget she's a female, to figure out what you need. And can you match that? So if you think you need a loving person, are you this loving person? You need someone who's romantic, let's say. Can you be this romantic? Why are you expecting things from someone when you can't reciprocate it? You shouldn't expect someone who's here when you're down here. It should either be like this or like this. So this is you, this is them, but you can have more but give more to someone. That's what I feel like should be like. Or so like, oh, I want a relationship, but aren't willing to put that effort in that a relationship involves, because it's too fairy tale like this idea of a relationship. So the advice to that is find yourself first. Don't expect what you can't give. Be able to match what they can give, and be ready. Be mature enough to be ready. Now the last question that someone asked me is, Albanian parents not accepting your potential partner or accepting your partner. I feel like you need to break the situation down. First of all, why are they not accepting them? It could be a genuine reason, like, oh, they see something that you don't see, like a quality that you don't see, or because parents want what's best for you normally. I understand it's not always, but normally your parents want what's best for you. So maybe you've told them about them and they don't like certain qualities, let's say, I don't know, maybe their career prospects or whatnot, and this could be just because they want you to be happy always, not just now. Like if they don't have a career prospect, let's say, like that your parents agree with, then they're probably worried that when kids come into the equation, are they going to be financially stable enough in order to be able to provide for a family? Or it could be down to, I don't know, so let's say Albanians, maybe they want you to be with an Albanian and you've chosen to go for someone who isn't an Albanian. This is quite a tricky situation, because sometimes this could be due to maybe culture reasons, so like they feel like someone else who's not Albanian will not understand their cultures. Like if they come to your house, they're not going to understand your cultures and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I feel like these can be taught. So if that's a problem, then you can teach your partner, this is how we do things, are you able to adjust to this? But then again, you need to adjust to them. If you're expecting someone to do something for you, you need to be able to do the same to them. Are you able to adjust to their customs and stuff? Number one, try break down what it is that they have a problem with and speak to them. If it's something very superficial that they have a problem with, then it's a bit of a tricky one. Some parents would be quite offended if you were to go against their words, but some people, until you try something, they don't know how they're going to react. So maybe you haven't even told them about this partner, but you're just worried that they're not going to handle it properly because it's not who they envision you to be with. So you never know. If you did approach them at first, they could be shocked and be like, what are you doing? But if they see that you're genuinely happy with this person and that they make you happy, that's the thing. If your parents aren't happy with someone, you need to make sure that this person is worth fighting for. If they're not, if you have some doubts, then leave it, because you're going to be upsetting your parents first of all, and they aren't even going to be worth it. So you've wasted all this time defending this person, they turn out to be a bad person. So that's not something that you should do. Whereas if you've established that definitely this is the one for you, then you're gonna have to tell your parents, like, it shouldn't be my parents versus my partner. Your parents should want what's best for you, and obviously this is speaking generally because not every parent is as understanding. A good parent, although they might not accept it when you tell them, a good parent will see that this person makes you happy and be willing to let go of these thoughts and these views, because at the end of the day it's just a view. It's not set in stone. It shouldn't be set in stone. Like we shouldn't be closed-minded to things. You should see the big picture. You shouldn't just be like looking at this. Nope, this is not what I wanted, rather than seeing the big picture and being like, this person makes my daughter happy. A normal parent would be able to get rid of these like blinkers or whatever and see that, okay, this isn't what I wanted to what I wanted you to be with, but they make you happy, and you need to show that they're making you happy. And then in time they will see that that's all it was just a closed view that they had, and that at the end of the day their daughter's happy. That's all that matters. That's all a parent wants, for their child to be happy. Yes, you may get outsiders looking in and judging you, but at the end of the day, so what? You're judging me for what? I'm happy. They'll get over it. People are going to judge regardless. If you're doing something that you're confident in, then stick to it. Don't worry about other people say. You could be doing all the best things in the world, but still people will find something to hate you for, or talk rubbish about you for, or judge you for. So first of all, find out what it is that they don't like about this partner that they're against. If it's something very superficial and not a justified reason enough for you, and you feel like this person's definitely the one, then you need to show your parents that and be like, I understand what you're saying, but this is the one for me, you know what I mean? And in time they will begin to understand that, because they'll see you, how you act, like they're gonna see that you're constantly happy and whatnot. But it's gonna be a bit hard, because whenever you do have bad times, because everyone has bad times, they're gonna maybe automatically blame it on, it's because you didn't listen to us, because you went with someone who we didn't agree with, and you need to be strong enough to handle that. So in the start, it's always gonna be hard, especially if you're going against your parents' word. But like I said, your parents want what is best for you. But sometimes we don't know what we want until we have it, or sometimes we don't realize how detrimental what we're saying is until you were proven otherwise. So by you proving them otherwise, that listen, they're actually not that bad, then they'll see that and their mind will be changed. Because if you've had these views for a long time, it's obviously they don't see, it's just such a stubborn view, they don't see anything else. But if you help them see the bigger picture and you respect them, then it will all work out in the end. But if you feel like this person who they are against is not going to match your standards, then there's no point trying to argue or trying to fight their corner, because this is just going to go downhill, you're wasting your time. But if you feel like they definitely can become something, and they definitely are a genuine person that you want to be with always, your parents will see that eventually.